Hey everyone, Anthony, 4x4 Diesel. Feels like a while since I've said that, but anyway, we're doing a BFE job with all the other important upgrades in recent times that you might have missed, so stick around for a little bit and I'm going to save you some money on radiators. You can see this one's leaking, so I'll tell you a bit about that, what happens with a BFE job briefly, and the latest addition and the difficulty getting to it. So BFE isn't bacon fried eggs, it's the big front engine job, which I invented, well, I don't know, over 10 years ago, some time ago, when I sort of decided that 150,000 Ks is a really long time to run a timing belt, and then the standard procedure is to just change the timing belt, where I go, well, what if the idler fails? It's got a bearing on it. What if the tensioner fails? Which they don't, but if you're going to replace one thing and then go to the next, you might as well just do the whole lot, because 150K is a long time. So it's not a lot of money to spend when you spread it over 150K of reliable driving. So timing belt, idler, tensioner, the cam seal comes in the kit, but you often don't need that. Like this one's not leaking. This vehicle's done 450,000 Ks, right? So in case you're wondering about, 1KDs and, people goes on about good, bad, whatever. This is how most of them are, okay? They don't all crack pistons. It's how most of them are. We did do the injectors on it at one point in time at least. Looks like it's got the original turbo, but we're here to talk about the BFE job. Water pumps on every vehicle, they also leak on every engine, right? Sooner or later the water pumps leak. They've got a bearing and a seal and all that sort of thing. And usually they don't last till 300,000, so it makes sense to me to just change the water pump at the same time as the timing belt while you're in there and you got it all pulled off. We do give it a big birthday, the big maintenance. We do sell a kit for this. It's not about selling the kits, but in case it helps you, it's a kit that I've put together. All the components are in there. Just text me Monday morning. You'll find the phone number listed on the Prado Hospital Facebook page. Text message only. Monday's dedicated parts day. Monday morning, 7:30 a.m. Melbourne time, if you can, or close as possible to that. You can do it earlier. The phone's on silent and all that anyway. I'll just see it at 7:30 or whenever I look at it at 7 or 8 or whatever. First in is the way. So you can do it anytime you like, say from, midnight if you wanted to. Try not to do it on the weekend though, because every now and then I check the phone throughout the day and that'll clear the red dots and it'll be forgotten about and gone by Monday morning. So often you won't get a response unless I've really got nothing better to do. Right, so water pump, what else? The main drive belt, that stretches and there's an automatic belt tensioner and it'll be out of range. There's 3 other pulleys with bearings that they have failed. The tension is expensive. You'll end up on a tow truck at a Toyota dealer with a $500 or $600 component plus labour. Big job to change. As you can see, a lot of work going on here. You don't want to get caught out, so we supply the bearing in the kit. Basically everything you need, nothing you don't. And more recently I discovered a problem with the thermostats, and it could be on a lot of vehicles, but it's really not a bad problem. Kind of, how to explain it? It was a bit of a hidden problem. They're all idling at 83 and it made these thermostats and these 1KDs look so good because they were so reliable to be idling on 83 on the scan tool at the sensor here, right? They're an 82 degree thermostat, so that's when they open. The normal operating range of this engine is 75 to 90 degrees. So 82 is when it opens and 82 is ideal. That's just ideal, right? You don't really want it below 75 and you don't want it above 90. Simple as that. And a lot of vehicles were going over 90, including one of mine, and it was easily going 92, 93, and it would have kept going, and I put it back to 4th out of overdrive, which is a good thing to do as well, especially if you're towing. You might not know about that, but you really need to watch all the videos until the end because it's just one more piece of the million-piece jigsaw puzzle. Something else I feel like I haven't said for a while, but I've said it hundreds of times and it's a true story. There's lots of information in each and every video, not just for Prados, not just for 1KDs. There's other engines, but all this info I'm giving you, you can educate yourself with it and make this work on any vehicle you've got. And I think now is more important than ever to educate yourself and do some stuff yourself so that your vehicle doesn't get wrecked, keep it reliable, and one of the biggest ones, save your money. The old poor man pays twice, or just paying for things that aren't getting done right that you could do yourself. So whether you're doing it yourself, whether you want to bring it to us, book it here at the Prado Hospital, you can do that. Just keep watching the videos, you'll figure it all out. I'll do a how to contact me video soon. So we've got the timing belt components, we've got the water pump, we've got the drive belt and all the bearings, and we've recently added the thermostat. And it's really important to have a scan tool like a scan gauge or something to monitor your coolant temperature, your transmission temperatures and stuff like that, at least till you know how it works. Some scan tools you can actually set alarms, like, you know, for your battery voltage, so then you'll get an early warning if something goes wrong with your battery or your alternator, which is removed for this job. Like I said, quite a big job, and it's quite different between Prados and Hiluxes and one-piece pumps and two-piece pumps and all this sort of thing. And we have a playlist for it, but it's called BFE, you know, water pump timing, about that sort of related stuff. I'm going to just go off topic and show you something else that I've spotted as well. And this would have got replaced with the map filter would have got replaced absolutely with the injector job a couple of years ago. And it is unusual to have that excess oil there. Could be because it's a high K engine, more blow by, a lot more oil in the intake. But we'll have a look at that as well and see if we can see what's going on there. Why that? It's just, that's really odd to have all that oil, because that's a filter to stop stuff getting to the sensor, the boost sensor for the turbo, if you like, that MAF sensor. No, the MAP sensor. I'll get it right one day. Always do that. Right, so check my videos, watch a lot of them, because 1 in 5 I call things the wrong thing and give you the wrong size nuts and sockets and all that sort of thing when we're showing you how to do things. But this thermostat, really difficult to get to, so don't think it's up here behind there. It's not. You're dreaming, it's down there. It's really hard to get to, which is once again why I decided it's a good idea to just change it with the BFE, which is why it's part of the kit. Of course, you didn't know, we got the injector kits as well, so we've got those 2 main kits available that cover all your maintenance, save you doing the running around, and it's value for money. Delivered anywhere in Australia only. Sorry to everybody overseas, just take the free information. And yeah, I can't, it's just too much to be sending all sorts of things overseas, and different makes and models, some slightly different things, and then mistakes will happen, which creates more work, which is why it can't happen. You never know, it might change, but it's not happening at the moment. Thermostat goes in there. You need a rubber seal also if you're doing this. If you're overseas, you need to order the thermostat and the seal. You need to make sure the little jiggle is at the top of the thermostat. All right, that's to bleed the air out. You need to make sure it's sitting in that position properly, and there's a little groove there. You need to make sure it's all cleaned up, clean and free of all this rust. Give it a scrape, give it a rub back. The inside of the cooling system should be nice and clean, as it had good jet. We use genuine Toyota super long life coolant. Then everybody uses the same thing. Then we haven't got coolant mixes. It's not green, purple, or any other color. It's just a nice pinky red color. And while it's looking good, it's usually good, but it might be looking good and it's old. So just because it looks good and it's red still, doesn't mean it's doing as good job on the cooling system as nice new stuff. So I recommend on the older cars, change your coolant every 2 years. It's much cheaper insurance than the risk of all the things it protects. I've said it before, the radiator, the Welsh plugs, the heater core, the head gasket, alloys, whatever. Now let's talk about this radiator quickly. A new genuine radiator for a 120 Prado is close to $1,000. Let's say about 900. You can see all the stuff that we're going to be cleaning out as part of the BFE job. That's another reason why we do it. While everything's out, this all gets reverse flushed on the exterior core of the radiator without damaging it, of course. And it's quite common for these radiators, doesn't matter if it's the V6, the petrol or the diesel or whatever, probably all radiators, but I say these because this is what we specialize in, to develop these really slow leaks. See all that coolant there, sort of. This isn't the cause of your big leak. This one, it had the water pump leaking. I'll just grab that. I'll just show you that one. Right, that's what the water pump leak looks like. Right, okay, it's been leaking for a long time. This one's a bit overdue on maintenance. Like I said, 450k. It's only been coming to us in the last couple of years. So all the things that need doing, they don't get done when it goes elsewhere. It just gets an oil change. It gets to sell you some brakes and suspension. You need to watch the videos, but luckily it's still very clean in there, which is awesome. It's had the genuine Toyota gasket on there, which is easy to clean off. Another reason we don't use aftermarket water pumps, because it'll take you an hour to scrape that bloody paper gasket off there, which costs you extra money. Poor man pays twice. Stick with genuine parts, value for money. We've got the kits in stock. Thermostat's part of it now, thermostat and the seal. I actually open the box and install the seal onto the thermostat, but you can check that's correctly done yourself before you install it. It's just a thing I do because it comes separately, and I just like to put it together. Like I put the cam seal in the box with the idler. It just keeps it in, gets it into a box. Anywhere in Australia, express post. Genuine coolant, you'll need to grab that from your local dealer. It's not worth me sending that. It's going to cost that much in freight. It's going to cost you more money in the end. If I only cared about me, well, I'll do it anyway, but I'm trying to help you here, and your money matters to me like my money as well. So we want value for money, the right maintenance, the right advice. Radiator, well, he can't afford it at the moment. You've got aftermarket, good aftermarket options are going to cost you $400 or $500 for a radiator, and you've got your cheap eBay specials that a lot of people have put in for $130. And I haven't heard anyone say, "Oh, mine leaked after 2 years." Now, a lot of people use cheap aftermarket stuff, and they do give me feedback. You are right; those lower control arm bushes are rubbish. 40,000 Ks, blah blah blah. Although there is some good aftermarket ones we've been using. So if you need lower control arms and you're around Melbourne and you want to pick them up, because they're not really worth sending, let me know and we'll try and get you some of those. But this radiator, it's not urgent. It's not going to burst open. So the diesel doesn't run as hot as the petrol. The petrol, these snap off over this side here, right? And then you cook the engine. On the diesel, right, these are quite strong, you know what I mean? Like, that was my little test for the day. Even these, you know, unless you lean on them and break them. This is 20 years old. It's a 120 Prado, right? They don't just go to pieces and just break. If I press hard enough, I'll break it, but that's quite strong, like when I tested the one on my 08 120, which I've got the spare radiator up on the mezzanine there, no leaks, because more coolant changes. You get what I mean? It's preventative maintenance. But a good time to do the radiator is while it's all apart. But if you haven't got $1,000, if you want genuine, then you just do it later. So in the case of this vehicle, all this is getting done. It'll get new coolant, and that's awesome because that's done. This will still work. It may leak slowly. We're going to clean all that up. That's going to be like new when we're finished with it anyway. And it may leak slowly, but it'll just sort of seal itself up like that and just be a really slow leak or stop leaking. That can be like that for years, okay? So maybe in another couple of years when he can afford it, because it's an older vehicle, he knows it's lasted the best, but because it's done the high occasion, the work hasn't been done, it needs a lot of money spent on it. But you can drip feed it slowly over time, and you're better off to drip feed 1,000, 2,000 every year or two, and keep the vehicle if you need a four-wheel drive or you just want an awesome, reliable Prado. People love their Prados. The new ones are very expensive, and they're not the same. They're not like these. They've got a lot of technology, and they've got problems that happen early that none of these engines, these cars don't have any of those issues. For 10 or 15 years, hundreds of thousands of Ks, even missing services, these things just keep going. And it's the problem that people have missed services and not done the maintenance, which is why problems can happen later. And this one, it hasn't really had any problems. Every vehicle's going to have a leak in water pump. It's going to have an alternator fail one day. I think this one's got a replacement alternator on it. One day the compressor's everything's going to wear out eventually, but just slowly, it's much cheaper to do that than go and get a loan for a new car, 100 grand, whatever it is. It's just ridiculous, especially in these times, the way it is at the moment. So there's a bit of info. If you want more, we've got the BFE playlist. You go ahead and check out those videos, because there's probably a lot of info, in those that I didn't put in this one. And check out our other YouTube channel if you want to save more money. Minimalist to Millionaire. Catch you there. See ya.